Here's something women will never admit out loud. When you're chasing us, texting first every time, always available, always trying to fix things, we notice. And something shifts. Not because we're cruel or playing games, but because there's a dynamic happening that most men completely misread. You think being more available will make her value you more? You think proving how much you care will win her over. But here's what confuses most men. The behaviors you believe show your worth are actually doing the opposite. And the moment you realize what's really happening, everything about dating and attraction starts to make sense. This video reveals the hidden psychology behind why certain behaviors push women away, even when we're attracted to you, and what we're actually looking for when we pull back. I'm going to show you the exact test you're failing without realizing it, the counterintuitive move that changes everything, and why the answer to relationship power is the exact opposite of what you've been taught. By the end, you'll understand something about female psychology that most men never figure out. Now, before we go any further, let me be clear. This video isn't about manipulating women or playing mind games. It's not about being cold, distant, or treating her badly to make her want you. That's not what this is. This is about understanding the psychology of attraction, the real mechanics that most people won't tell you because it sounds harsh. Here's the truth. Women are biologically wired to test for emotional strength. Not consciously, not maliciously, but instinctively. And most men fail that test because they were taught that caring more equals better results. It doesn't. So let's break down exactly what's happening when she pulls away, why your natural response makes it worse, and what you need to understand about female psychology to stop giving your power away. Here's the pattern most men fall into. She starts pulling back, shorter texts, takes longer to respond, suddenly busy with plans. And what do? You double down, you text more, you ask if everything's okay, you try to schedule another date to reconnect, you explain yourself, you reassure her. And with every move you make to close the distance, she creates more of it. Ask yourself, have you ever felt like the harder you tried, the less she cared? Like your effort was actually pushing her away instead of pulling her closer? That's not a coincidence. That's the dynamic at work. Here's why this happens. When a woman senses you need her validation, when your happiness depends on her response, when you're anxiously waiting for her text, when you're rearranging your life for her attention, she loses attraction. Not because she's cruel, but because attraction is tied to perceived value. And value in dating is largely about scarcity and emotional independence. When you make yourself too available, too eager, too dependent on her approval, you signal low value. You become predictable, safe, boring. Most men think being more attentive will make her feel valued. They think consistency equals commitment. But what actually happens is she starts taking you for granted. Why? Because you've shown her she doesn't have to work for your attention. It's always there. And what's always available becomes background noise. What she can't easily have, what challenges her, what makes her wonder, that's what keeps her engaged. So here's what we're going to cover. In the next 4 sections, I'm going to show you exactly how to reclaim the power in this dynamic. First, the psychology behind why she's testing you and what she's actually looking for. Second, the 3 specific behaviors that immediately shift the power back in your favor. Third, how to tell the difference between a test and genuine disinterest, so you don't waste time on someone who's already checked out. And fourth, the internal mindset shift that makes you unforgettable, not because you're chasing, but because you stopped needing to. By the end of this video, you'll never feel powerless in a relationship again. You'll understand exactly why walking away creates attraction, and you'll know how to do it without losing yourself. Let's start with the first one. Here's what you need to understand about female psychology. Women test men. Not as a conscious strategy, not because they're manipulative, but as an unconscious filter to gauge emotional strength. It's built into the wiring. From an evolutionary standpoint, Women have always needed to select partners who can remain calm under pressure, who don't crumble when things get difficult, who can lead when chaos hits. So when she pulls back, when she goes cold, when she cancels plans, when her texts get shorter, she's not necessarily rejecting you. She's testing to see if you'll panic. Here's what these tests look like in real life. She takes longer to respond to your messages. She suddenly has plans when you try to see her. Her warmth decreases, less enthusiasm, fewer questions, less engagement. She creates distance, and then she watches. What's she watching for? Your reaction. Will you chase? Will you flood her phone with texts? Will you ask what's wrong 100 times? Or will you stay grounded, unbothered, and continue living your life? The question she's unconsciously asking is simple. Does he need me, or does he simply want me? And this is where most men fail. Because needing someone and wanting someone are completely different. Need is scarcity. It's, I require your validation to feel okay. Want is abundance. It's, I enjoy you, but I'm complete without you. Women are attracted to men who want them, not men who need them. Why? Because a man who needs her is emotionally dependent. He's giving her all the power. And when you give someone all the power, they lose respect. So when she pulls back and you immediately chase, you're signaling, I need you. I'm not okay unless you respond. My emotional state depends on your attention. That fails the test. But when she pulls back and you remain calm, when you give her space, when you don't react emotionally, you pass. You're showing her that you're secure, that you have options, that you're not sitting around waiting for her approval. Here's the key insight most men miss. She's not testing you to hurt you. She's testing you to see if you're worth her investment. Because if you can't handle her pulling back in the early stages, if that alone makes you anxious and needy, how will you handle real pressure later? A woman wants a man who's emotionally stable, who doesn't need her to complete him, who can handle her moods and distance without falling apart. The man who passes that test is the man she chases. So now that you understand why she's testing you, here's exactly what you need to do when it happens. There are 3 behaviors that immediately shift the power dynamic back in your favor. Behavior. 1. Mirror her energy. This is simple, but most men get it wrong. Match her texting frequency and enthusiasm. If she texts you once a day, you text once a day, max. If she takes 3 hours to respond, you take 3 hours or more. The rule is, don't reward her distance with more attention. Your investment should always reflect hers, not exceed it. Here's what this looks like in practice. She sends you a short, low-effort reply. You send an equally brief response. Don't write paragraphs when she's giving you sentences. Don't double text when she doesn't respond. If she's giving you 30% effort, you give 20%. Why? Because the moment you overinvest, you signal that her lack of effort doesn't affect your behavior. You're showing her she doesn't need to try because you'll always be there. That kills attraction. Behavior. 2. Create space. When she pulls back, you pull back more. This is strategic withdrawal, and it's one of the most powerful moves you can make. Don't fill her silence with your anxiety. Give her space to miss you. Because here's the truth. Silence creates curiosity. Pursuit creates clarity. And clarity kills attraction. When you're constantly available, constantly reaching out, she knows exactly where you stand. You need her. There's no mystery, no challenge, no reason for her to wonder about you. Example. She cancels plans. Your response? No problem. That's it. Don't ask when you can reschedule. Don't suggest alternative dates. Let her bring it up. If she's distant for 2 days, you're distant for 3. Don't explain yourself. Don't apologize for pulling back. Just match her energy and then pull back slightly more. Behavior. 3. Maintain your life. This is the abundance mentality in action. Don't drop your plans, your friends, your hobbies, your goals for her. Keep hitting the gym. Keep seeing your boys. Keep posting on social media like you're living well. Even if you're hoping to hear from her, Say yes to other plans. Live like you have options, even if you don't, because she should fit into your life, not become your life. And never, never ask, "Are you mad?" or "Did I do something wrong?" That's the neediness talking. Respond to her energy, but don't try to change it or fix it. If she's cold, you stay calm and give her space. The power is in your indifference, not your pursuit. Now here's the question most guys struggle with. How do you know if she's testing you or if she's actually done? Because there's a huge difference. And misreading it costs you either time or opportunity. Here are the signs it's a test. Her behavior is inconsistent. Hot one day, cold the next. She still responds eventually, even if it takes time. She initiates occasionally, not often, but enough to keep the thread alive. She shows up when it actually matters, even if she flakes on smaller things. And here's a big one. She's watching your stories, checking your activity, keeping tabs on your life without directly engaging. That's not disinterest. That's curiosity. She's seeing how you handle the distance. Now here are the signs of genuine disinterest. Consistent coldness. No cycles, no variation. Just flat one-word answers with zero questions back. She never initiates, even after you've given her space. She repeatedly avoids making concrete plans, always has an excuse, never suggests an alternative. She doesn't engage with your social media at all. No likes, no views, nothing. And sometimes she'll just tell you directly she's not interested. That's the clearest sign. Clearest. Here's the timeline you need to follow. Pull back for 5 to 7 days minimum. Give her real space. If she reaches out during that time, texts you, calls you, asks what you're up to, it was a test. She wanted to see if you'd panic, and when you didn't, she got curious. If there's complete silence for 7 days straight, she's likely done, move on. But there's a middle ground that confuses men. Breadcrumbs. She likes your posts but doesn't text. She views your stories but doesn't respond. That means she's keeping you as an option, not a priority. Here's what you do. Send one direct message. "Let's grab coffee this week, Thursday or Saturday?" Make it concrete. If she says yes and follows through, green light. If she dodges, makes excuses, or doesn't respond at all, that's your answer. Walk away. Here's the framework. If it's a test, re-engage but stay grounded. Don't flood her with attention just because she reached out. If it's genuine disinterest, walk away with your dignity intact, and if she's breadcrumbing, give her one clear opportunity to step up or step out. No middle ground. Either she's in or she's not. And if she flakes on concrete plans twice, you're done. Trust your gut. If it's felt one-sided for weeks, it probably is. All the tactics in the world won't help you if your internal frame is wrong. So let's talk about the mindset shift that makes everything else effortless. Outcome, independence. Here's what that means. You're good whether she stays or goes. You want her in your life, but you're complete without her. This is the abundance mindset, and it's not about having 10 other women lined up. It's about knowing, deep down, that you'll be fine either way. The scarcity mindset says, "I need her. My happiness depends on her choosing me." That's neediness. That's what repels her. The abundance mindset says, "I want her, but I'm whole on my own." That's what attracts her. The internal power shift is this. Stop seeking her validation. Become the validation. Stop hoping she picks you. Start evaluating if she fits your life. You're not the selected. You're the selector. High-value men don't chase. They create space for the right woman to step into. And if she doesn't step in, someone else will. Here's the paradox. The less you need her, the more she wants you. The moment you're genuinely willing to walk away, she's more likely to chase. Why? Because your power doesn't come from your pursuit. It comes from your peace. When you're okay losing her, you stop acting desperate. You stop over-texting, over-explaining, over-investing. You just exist. And that calm, grounded presence is magnetic. So how do you build this mindset? Daily practice, Every morning, remind yourself, I'm complete as I am. Focus on your mission, your career, your fitness, your purpose, more than you focus on dating. When you feel anxious about her, ask yourself, would the man I want to be bothered by this? The answer is usually no. Build a life so fulfilling that her absence doesn't create a void. Date other women, or at least be open to it, so you internalize that you have options. Stop checking her social media obsessively. That's scarcity behavior. Set a clear standard. I only invest in people who invest in me. And practice walking away from low-effort situations early. The earlier you recognize it's one-sided, the easier it is to leave. Here's the long-term frame you need. Relationships should add to your life, not complete it. A woman who constantly tests you, who makes you feel unstable, who plays endless games, that's not peaceful. That's not the energy you want long-term. The right woman will match your effort naturally. She won't make you beg for her attention. If it feels like constant work, like you're always proving yourself, like one wrong move ends it, she's not the one. And here's the identity shift. Stop thinking, I hope she likes me. Start thinking, does she fit my life? Stop asking, what did I do wrong? Start asking, is this the energy I want around me? That shift alone changes everything, because the moment you stop chasing approval and start choosing your peace, you become unforgettable. Not because you're playing a game, but because you genuinely don't need her to feel whole. And ironically, that's exactly when she'll want you most. Here's something uncomfortable most men never hear, and it might challenge everything you think about relationships, but it needs to be said. If you have to constantly prove your worth to her, she's already decided you're not enough. Real attraction doesn't require convincing. Think about it. When a woman is genuinely into you, you don't have to beg for her time. You don't have to sell yourself. You don't have to walk on eggshells worried that one wrong move will end it. That anxiety you're feeling, that constant sense that you're one mistake away from losing her, that's not love. That's you holding on to someone who's already emotionally checked out. And here's the harsh truth most men don't want to face. A lot of guys waste months, even years, chasing women who decided no weeks ago, but kept them around for validation, attention, or convenience. Don't be that guy. Now, I know that sounds brutal. This isn't about giving up on someone you care about or being cold. It's about recognizing that chasing someone who's already made up their mind is self-abandonment, not love. You deserve someone who's sure about you, not someone you have to convince, not someone who keeps you guessing, not someone who makes you feel like you're always auditioning for the role of boyfriend. The right woman won't make you feel powerless. She'll make you feel chosen. So ask yourself, are you fighting for someone who's fighting for you, or are you fighting alone? What would change in your life if you only invested in people who invest back? That shift alone, choosing yourself over someone who's uncertain about you, that's the real power move. That's when you stop being an option and start being a priority. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever been in this situation where you felt like you were losing power in a relationship, where you were the one always chasing? What did you do? Did you pull back, or did you keep pursuing? And what happened? Drop your story in the comments. I want to know how it played out. I read every single comment. This isn't just me talking at you. This is a conversation. If you're going through this right now, share what's happening. Let's figure it out together. This space is for men who are done feeling powerless and ready to take back their frame. Because this isn't just about one girl or one situation. This is about building a mindset where you never feel like the weak one again. This is about men understanding the game, refusing to play from a position of neediness, and choosing themselves first. That's what we're doing here. That's the movement. Remember, you're not powerless. You never were. She needs you more than you need her, but only if you act like it. And the man who knows his worth, who walks away from low-effort situations, who chooses his peace over her approval, that's the man women chase. That's who you are. Now go be that.